Hello there. Welcome to the basement. This is the Saturday Night Chill. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself something to puff on, sit back, relax, and we're going to talk about some fun shit this week because some fun shit happened this week. And then I got a little story. Got a little story I found actually earlier this afternoon that we're going to have. It's a little wild. We're going to be talking about that one a bit, I think. Hey, I see two pop up in the chat, so I know who you is. Well, I'm sure one of them's my lovely wife. Hi, babe. How you doing? Yes, as you can hear in the background, I'm feeling a little more mellow this weekend, as opposed to what I normally throw in the background, which is more chill stuff. But there's my babe. Hey, Alan, how you doing, bud? You having a good weekend so far? How'd the bubby, babe? We're babysitting our grandson. Oh, thank you for saying hi to my wife too. That's pretty cool of you. Bentley, how you doing today, man? How you doing tonight? You all right? I hope you guys are ready for some fun stuff. I'm ready for some fun stuff. Like I say, Aussie, how are things over on the other side of the globe? Literally. Everything all right? And also, do you follow Hannah, the race side? Good. I'm glad you're having a good weekend, Alan. So, show notes, y'all. We got a few things to talk about. So we got some Marvel news. We got a little bit of DC. Got a little bit of Star Wars, and then this article I alluded to earlier is gonna be redonk. We're gonna start a fight. So, let's get DC out of the way because there ain't much going on anyway. So, about the only massive DC news this week, won't even call it massive. Uh, Grace, I can't remember her damn last name anyway. Anyway, Grace Randolph, that's her name. Grace Randolph tweeted out today that she's hearing that Gunn's presentation will be next week. She does not know what kind of format it's going to take, whether it be evidently his new favorite communication, which would be a tweet series or an article in one of the trades or a video. Yeah, well, I think a lot of us found her channel on Nerd Theory when they had those people in the last, not this past time, but the one time before. And then everything conked out except her, and she had to take over. And she did a damn good job. Like she earned her pub. Oh, that's just a low beginning. I thought my music quit on me, but it didn't. So, um, about the only thing we know for sure that Gunn's going to talk about next week is at least mentioning his Superman movie. He's already gone on Twitter and debunked the casting rumors that have popped out there. As you know, he is fond of doing. He loves the debunking. He loves to debunk things. So, outside of that, what was it he said when he debunked that? Oh yeah, talking about I generally don't cast till the script's written and the script's not done yet. So no casting rumors are true for a while. Basically, that's not a direct quote by any stretch of the imagination. But at least we're finally going to get some kind of clarification on what he's doing over there next week, allegedly, potentially, hopefully. Because let's face it, the news we've been getting for a while, no bueno, no good at all. So, I mean, unless someone else has heard anything, that's about all I got for the DC, which is not surprising considering that's all DC has with Jacques Sheet. I want my energy drink. And we got a wee bit. We got a wee bit of the Star Wars news too. Not a whole lot. Um, the most exciting news, at least in my opinion, is we were supposed to get finally the Mando season 3 trailer this Monday during the football. So that ended up, well, I mean, at least for me, that's awesome because then I get to mix my nerdy with my football. Except I think I'll probably be outdoor dashing, so it won't really matter much anyway. But yeah, we get us a new trailer on Monday allegedly. So Bubby hears me. It's awesome. Or he sees me on your phone. That's dope. I got the cutest little grandson. So adorable. He is about 4. September, November, December. Yeah, he's 4 months old now. Almost. That's so awesome. I love to shit on my grandkids, so if I get distracted by him, fucking deal with it. All right. But anyway, so what the hell was I talking about? Jesus. ADD is. I'm starting to think ADD is prevalent in pretty much every YouTuber nowadays. I swear, at least definitely me. Yeah. So Mando trailer Monday night. That'll be dope. Hopefully they show us a lot of cool stuff. I'm looking forward to that. I would like to see personally, just me. I want to see a little bit more. Mandalore footage. I mean, yeah, the first trailer they showed some. Well, what was left of it after the Night of Tears, or yeah. Anyway, yeah, I want to see some more Mandalore footage. Brooke, how you doing, girl? Super Cyber Quantumania. Oh yes. Oh, I'll be getting into Quantumania. I'm just getting the little news out of the way first, because just real quick, because I can TLDR it super fast. Oh my goodness. Well, it's in Brooke. I'm so sorry. See, that's what assuming gets you. Makes you look like a dipshit on the internet. My apologies. Anyway, sorry, I'm not used to Brooke being a unisex name. I'm 47. I still have faults. I'm trying to catch up. I'm glad you're doing good though. Anywho, Maximus is here. How you doing, Maximus? What's going on? Oh, right with the E. God, I'm a retard. Please forgive me and don't unsub. Um, oh damn, they're playing Metallica. Hell yeah. Papa Het and crew doing they shit. So for those of you who just arrived, we've already gone into the DC and Star Wars news, which means since I've only been on less than 10 minutes, there wasn't shit. But just real quick, James Gunn's supposed to do his announcing next week. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only idiot. Thank you. But yeah, so James Gunn's supposed to finally announce whatever it is he's been planning on announcing, allegedly next week, according to Grace Randolph. So getting some clarification, in my opinion, will finally be cool. I mean, the only thing we have an inkling that he may talk about is the Superman movie that we all know about anyway. So we will see where that one goes. As for Star Wars news, not a whole hell of a lot. Mando trailer on Monday night during some football. Nerdiness in sports is kind of where I live, so I'm pretty stoked for that one. And a new little tidbit regarding the Ahsoka show is evidently they're going to be employing Loth Wolves. Like the biggins that like Ezra's English. Supposedly I learned it when I was a child. But just like the ones that Ezra was riding in Rebels. So, well, I mean, yeah, basically we're going to get some Twilight action in a roundabout way. But yeah, so like I said, not a lot going on in the lands of DC and Star Wars, unless of course you guys have heard something I haven't, which is, I'd say, pretty good odds. I'm still working to put together where I get my shiz from. But so there's some fun Marvel. We're gonna move on to the Marvels now, because the MCU's got the most news going. At least this week they do. Of course, the big thing was the release of the Quantumania trailer. Throw one into the chat if you thought that was dope. If you thought that was a dope trailer, regardless of whether or not you thought it showed too much. Just in terms of, holy shit, that was a cool trailer. How many of y'all thought that? Just spam one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that I think that movie relieved a lot of trepidation for some people who are much more in the know than I. Um, I mean, it just looks Kang looks well. Number one, he looks damn good when you compare to the comics, and number two, he is obviously an intimidating, menacing guy. Like seriously, I mean that one line in the first trailer: "You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" Like what the fuck? And then this, and then in this one, it's like, "Let me make it simple for you. If you don't do what I want, everything in your life will cease to exist." I mean, that's just fucking laying it down. And on top of that, whatever the hell he was juicing up on when he had the mask on and just. I think, I don't know about y'all, but I am firmly of the opinion that while there may be, it's Paul Rudd, so there's going to be some kind of jokes in there. The MCU never leaves at least a couple. They always got to go with a couple little jokey moments, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be once they get into the quantum realm, the jokes are going to dissipate as soon as Kane gets rolling on them. So, excuse me, but yeah, that looks pretty freaking sweet. I mean, plus there's all the subplots going on because obviously Janet knew Kang. I'm fairly excited for that movie, and it's a month away, almost literally, because today's 14th. It comes out February 17th. Oh, it's definitely better than the first trailer. Faux show. 100% better than the first trailer. And there are also some rumors about the character of Kang himself. Number one is Kang is somehow going to acquire the power of the Beyonder. Quick history of the Beyonder from what I have learned from watching Rob on Comics Explained. The Beyonder is essentially a cosmic cube that gained sentience and decided to run around the universe and learn stuff. Now, a cosmic cube is basically a construction made by the Beyonders who live in the Beyond verse, and it's a smidge of their power that they put into cube form and set loose in our universe, and set loose in the multiverse actually. And essentially, if a person gets a hold of one, it's basically a get whatever you want box for the most part. You can alter reality. If you had a cosmic cube, you could literally be like, I'm a millionaire. Poof, you're a millionaire. It's just that simple. So now just imagine something that can do practically anything that you want it to do, all of a sudden gets a mind of its own and starts doing what it wants to do. And in the case of the original Secret Wars run, the Beyonder decided he wanted to learn which was more powerful, good or evil. And so he snagged up a bunch of heroes and a bunch of villains and stuck them on Battle World and just had them go at it so he could figure out which one was stronger. And so now, instead of being a separate character, allegedly, this is the rumor, this is by no means settled fact, but this is the word on the street, so to speak, is that he is somehow going to acquire the power of the Beyonder. without actually becoming the Beyonder himself. Now, I'm not 100 on this, but I think it might be a variant of Kang that gets the Beyonder powers, but it could be the Kang the Conqueror that's in Quantumania. So we'll have to see on that one, but that's going to be interesting because, I mean, he's already sick powerful, but at this point, he does not have the power to alter time. He can move all around back and forth in it, and he can pop between multiverses, even obviously, because he who remains at the end of Loki season 1 was the final King variant remaining from the multiversal war that he fought in. So, or at least he thought, because as it turns out, this variant of Kang called the Conqueror has been hanging out in the quantum realm for a while. So that's going to be a hoot when he finally gets rolling. So there's Kang getting the power of the Beyonder, and here's the one that really is like, how in the hell are they going to do this? But also fucking cool, and that is the fact that a variant of Kang way back in the day, actually authored the Darkhold. I'll just leave you with that for a couple. Yes, the Darkhold, the same book that corrupted the 818 Doctor Strange, and the same one that corrupted our Wanda Maximoff and set her on the warpath in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So, I mean, if you've seen Multiverse of Madness, then you know that basically the whole thing was carved into that cave on, what is that, Wonder Gore or some shit, that mountain? And it was carved there by a character named Cathan, or Sathan. That's probably a tomato thing, so go with however you wish. Um, but somehow, in the interim between Sathan, Cathan, what have you, uh, carving that into that temple up there, it would appear a variant of Kang, an old variant of Kang, popped up in there and wrote it all down in a book, creating the Darkhold. Now, supposedly, all the Darkholds are now destroyed in at least our version of the multiverse that the MCU is going to be active in. We saw that happen, but I realized at the end of Multiverse of Madness that there is a copy of the Darkhold that still exists, or at least a partial copy. And I don't know if y'all remember this, but Doctor Strange has eidetic memory. He has photographic memory. Once he reads it, it's in there. And guess who read the Darkhold, baby? Yeah. So if nothing else, the Darkhold still exists in our multiverse in Stephen Strange's brain. So depending on, I think if they decide to play with that, that could get real fun too. But it probably won't get real fun till Secret Wars, because the prevailing thought for the King Dynasty is that we are going to have the new version of the Avengers that they've been setting up not that great in Phase 4. And more than likely, they're going to get their ass handed to them by Kang the Conqueror once he escapes from Quantum Realm, which will obviously happen, but we'll find out how and how much damage he does on his way. Yes. Oh, Scotty! I'm glad you're here, dude, because you can correct me. Just be gentle. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's true. That only got destroyed in the 616, didn't it? All right. So, yeah, someone else could find that puppy in a different universe and get their own version of the Darkhold. But at least as it stands for now, we don't know that that's happened. You just keep flinging them pennies. Just, throw them past me to get my attention. Don't bonk me in the head. But at least as far as we know, currently, no one else has popped into the cave to copy a version of the Darkhold in their universe. And the book itself has been destroyed throughout the multiverse, along with the cave in our universe, the 616. So, at least for now, as far as I know, the only access to the Darkhold is in one Stephen Strange's dome. So that in and of itself could be fun. I wonder if they're going to play with that when he's out with Clea fixing incursions, or at least one incursion, as hinted at in the first post-credit scene, or the mid-credit scene, technically, at the end of Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, so allegedly, a variant of Kang is going to be the author of the Darkhold, and at some point, he's going to acquire the power of the Beyonder. And I think that's going to get interesting because he's going to be just insane strong. Now, here's a question though. Obviously, he's going to be the big bad through the end of the multiverse saga, which will culminate at the end of Phase 6 when Secret Wars comes out. And right now appears to be late 26, possibly early 27, which is fine. And we'll discuss delays here in a little while too. But things are going to be way more powerful than that. Well, I actually read in an article, Brooke, that someone from Marvel Studios is claiming that is in fact the case. Kang is going to be the most powerful villain the MCU has seen to this point. There. And yeah, so yes, Kang is going to wreak havoc all over the place and everywhere and every when, potentially. Since we're dealing with multiverses and time travel, everywhere and every when, he's going to be starting some shiz. Yeah, probably. Ooh, I don't know. True lore masters might want to argue that, but yeah, it seems, especially being a descendant of Reed Richards, he's probably highly ridiculously intelligent. Yep. Oh, that was Kevin that said that. Okay, yeah, I knew I read that somewhere. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it. Oh, how was your stream earlier today? I was doing other stuff. Did you have a good game? Hope you had a good game. You still playing Court, the Escape from Wherever, that talk. What the hell's that place you're trying to fucking escape from, bruh? Tarkov. Ha! I remembered Tarkov. I hope your Tarkov is going well. Yeah, I got it. Where was I? See, there I go squirreling again. Squirrel! But yeah, so it would appear from everything I'm reading and the trailer and everything else that Quantumania is going to be setting up a lot for phases 5 and 6 going forward. And it's going to be pretty dope, I think. At least I hope, because, and we'll discuss this a little bit later too. Stuff that's coming out for everybody at this point needs to slap. And we'll talk about why in a little while. But I have this. I found this article earlier. Well, technically, I found it on Twitter, but it comes from the Direct. And hang on to your heinies, because this is going to get redonk. And this is still Marvel. Well, at least comic book related anyway. So, Rotten Tomatoes has unveiled the best superhero TV shows of 2022. Their top 5. Did I say top 5? Anyway, they put the top 5 in this article. And this was an editorial, so I'm not sure I didn't go to the Rotten Tomatoes site and actually read their stuff. At the end of all these movies, they're supposed to intro. Yeah. Yeah, that would be excellent. I would like to see Nathaniel Richards before he becomes Kang. That would be dope. And also fire. Fire. Okay, I'm done with that. Anyway, so this editorial from Rotten Tomatoes ranked the top 5 superhero series of 2022. And I'm going to read them from bottom to top for you. Coming in at number 5 from Marvel Studios, Moon Knight. And I can see that. That was a decent show. Got a little weird at the end there with the Hippo Goddess and stuff, but I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, of course, I'm a bit of an Egypt freak anyway, so you start getting into Egyptian shiz, you already got my attention. But yeah, so that's a pretty decent show. I don't have a problem with it coming in at 5. Number 4, Peacemaker. And honestly, I haven't watched Peacemaker. The only exposure I've had to the character was in the Suicide Squad, where I cannot unsee Mr. Cena in tidy whities, no matter how hard I try. But yeah, that's the only experience I have with that character. I don't know if any of y'all have watched Peacemaker on the Prime, but yeah, I don't. I would really enjoy that. Okay, yeah, I mean, I've definitely got. I think I've got the right sense of humor for that show based on what they were doing in the Suicide Squad. But I will have to say that movie overall, vibes of the movie itself, whether Peacemaker as a show is good or not, the Suicide Squad gave me vibes of Love and Thunder. I came off of that not quite as strongly feeling this, but I still felt some what the fuck at the end of that movie. Not as much as I felt at the end of Love and Thunder, which was the entire movie was what the fuck for me. Well, no, I take that back. I actually enjoyed it when he gave all the kids the power and they started whooping ass. I thought that was fun. Stuffed Bunny of Death. I enjoyed that one. So, but yeah, overall, I feel bad for Christian Bale that he put his multitude of acting skills into the Gore the Godslayer character and then got so underutilized it was insane. I don't know what the hell Taika was on when he made that fucking movie, but he needs to never be on that again. And also never touch Star Wars. But anyway, so Peacemaker was number 4. In number 3, and coming in low for me, The Boys. Now, I love The Boys. That is a fucking great show. It does get extra at certain points in time. The season 3 premiere comes in. It comes first to my mind when it comes to how extra that show can get. I don't know if y'all seen it, but just as an example, and this is probably the most extra moment in the show. There's a dude with the power of shrinking, and he's got himself a lover, and he shrinks himself down to stimulate his lover, and of course they show, obviously fabricated, but a ginormous dong, and so they can actually show him hopping up in there. And of course he sneezes and explodes and blows the dude up. But yeah, the giant dick, that was a bit much for me. It didn't freak me out. It didn't offend me. It was just more like, okay, I guess, but damn, bro, you couldn't have figured out another way to do that. But yeah, overall, The Boys is fucking phenomenal, and it being at number 3, I have a bit of a problem with. And now, here's where it gets fun. The number 2 superhero series of last year, according to this editorial in Rotten Tomatoes, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Yeah, let me say that again. She-Hulk, according to this Rotten Tomatoes editorial, was the second best superhero show on TV of 2022. Yeah. The director just said in season 4 they filmed the most messed up thing he thinks he has ever seen. Good news. I don't know what that's going. I mean, seriously, they had a dude crawling another dude's dick and then like sneeze himself huge and blow the other dude up from the waist down. I mean, I don't care if dudes are fucking each other. That's not a problem. But like, I really didn't need to see the constructed gigantic phallus with a tunnel for him to climb through. But dear God, but yeah, if he thinks there's something more messed up than that coming in season 4, I am both highly intrigued and highly nervous. Like, honestly. But yeah, what do we all think about this Rotten Tomatoes list so far? Again, Moon Knight 5, Peacemaker 4, Boys 3, She-Hulk 2, and we haven't even gotten to number 1 yet. But where are y'all at with this list? I'll give you a second because there's something I want to do real quick too. Don't worry, I'm not gone. You can see my little dude vibrating there, and you can still hear me. But what y'all think? She-Hulk at number 2, Boys at 3, Peacemaker 4, Moon Knight 5 so far. Just don't be hateful. Well, I'll tell you this much. Let me get resettled in here. Excuse me. I gotta remember to hit the damn mute button. My apologies. Anyway, while while I was not anywhere near as triggered as a lot of people when it came to She-Hulk, it still was not good television, just in general. So, not for a lot of the reasons that some people would accuse me of for not liking the show. I just thought it was written really not well. 1 second here. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the writing was bad. The writing was bad. The CG was, obviously they improved it from the first trailer we saw when it was complete garbage, but it still wasn't that great. Yeah, there was just a lot of flaws with that show. So I'm like, yeah, the second best superhero show of 2022? Nah, I don't think so. At least not for me. But wait, we still haven't gotten to number 1 yet, y'all. You ready? The number 1 superhero show of 2022, according to this editorial on Rotten Tomatoes, is Ms. Marvel. Yes, I love me the what? Yes, Ms. Marvel, the number 1 superhero show of 2022, according to this editorial. Now, I enjoyed Ms. Marvel. I think it was a much better put together show than She-Hulk. For sure. Better written, better directed, better shot. I mean, saving the Daredevil episode, because Daredevil's fucking dope on She-Hulk. But yeah, I mean, Ms. Marvel was an okay show. Wasn't great, wasn't shitty, but it definitely was not the best superhero show of last year. Not by a fucking long shot. Now, I would say, and this is, you know, on you guys, and I'm only saying this basically because I haven't seen Peacemaker. So for me, The Boys is number one. From what I've heard about Peacemaker, that probably could easily go at number two. And then I would put Moon Knight at number three, then Ms. Marvel, then She-Hulk. And that's just not because of any, not for any ideological or political reasons. Just that's the order of the shows. I think they were like done the best. The quality of writing, quality of producing, quality of acting, quality of cinematography. Just The Boys was the best one for me. I know some of you who have seen Peacemaker might put that at number one and The Boys at number two. And like I said, I haven't watched Peacemaker, so I'm no that's not an argument I'm even going to think of starting, because I would lose because of no information. But yeah, what do y'all think about those ratings? Because I need to mute myself and cough some more. So let me know what y'all think. I mean, I'm not here just to hear myself talk and stuff. I want to know what y'all think too. Engagement. The engagement is why I do this. Engage me. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just say I disagree with that list. All right. I thought that'd be a bigger story than it was, but that's all right. What else was I? Oh yes, the reason that Quantumania needs to slap is the same reason that pretty much any of these big IPs come out with going forward. At least with the stuff that's going to be made, because we're already stuck with everything that's been complete through post production is going to hit screens. But everything needs to slap. Everything Marvel needs to slap. Everything DC needs to slap. Everything Star Wars needs to slap. Because the fandoms in everything are beat to shit at this point. We've got the hyper negative over here. We got the hyper positive over here. And then there's the rest of us right here in the middle, where all we want to do is give credit where credit is due and shit on something if it deserves to be shit upon. And, like reasonable people do. And then we get smacked by the hell and negatives for going, hey, you're a fucking chill, you like this shit. Or the hyper positives are like, how dare you say anything bad about this content? And then on top of that, just setting aside fandom bullshit, just outside our walls, like our own personal domiciles, outside our walls, things are pretty fucked up right now out there, I must say. Have been for a minute. So we need our escapism, and we need our escapism to be fucking good. Like, if we can't immerse ourselves fully in it to the point where we just don't give a crap about what's going on out there, at least for a couple hours or what have you, then, that's no bueno. And these companies need to understand that their job is to entertain as broad as possible an audience. So there doesn't need to be any messaging for anybody. Let me make this clear. Neither side needs to be put forth in an aggressive manner in our content. We need quality. We need good writing with big ideas. We need well-executed production. We need the best actors for the parts hired. You need to give the VFX departments time to completely hone in, like you obviously didn't do for She-Hulk. We need our escapism to be awesome right now. At least I do. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there feel the same way I do. There's no matter where you sit or what side you sit on, you cannot look around and be like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So, I mean, we don't have a lot of avenues of escape. I mean, if you're into reading, there's always books. I myself am a humongous bibliophile. I need to start reading again because I used to read all the time. And I got boxes of books over there that I need to get a shelf for. But I'm not going to show you where because no one gets to see my mess. But yeah, so I mean, there's reading, obviously. There's video games, right, Scotty? Dive into some video games. They have nothing to do with the outside world. Just have some fun. And of course, movies and, TV show. For us, our nerdy content. We need it all to slap right now. For the last, definitely for the last 2 years for everybody, and going back farther, like 7 and change for Star Wars for some of us, longer for DC, or right around the same for DC. It's been too mid for too long, and that needs to stop. And now, I will say, based on the Quantumania trailer and a lot of the leaks and rumors that are flying around, I feel quite confident in saying Kevin Feige at least is working to turn that shiz around. So far as Marvel's concerned, because that's the only one he runs, obviously. So, I'm still at a point where in Feige we trust, just because of the signs I've been seeing and hearing about, reading about, and listening to other people talk about who know more shit than I do. But DC, Gunn's already made any number of questionable decisions, at least in my mind. Still, the biggest sin he's committed is letting the perfect Superman go, Mr. Henry Cavill. And of course, Star Wars, obviously your mileage varies on the quality of the content they've put out since 2015. But I will say, I think it's safe to say that no matter how much you may or may not, how much you may like the direction Disney's going with the Star Wars IP, you have to admit that they have put out some mid crap. At least some. You got to admit there's some. And again, my point is it all needs to be the bomb. Because we need that escape for our fucking mentals. Trust me when I say, if you don't take care of your mentals, you're boot. So, but like I said, that's just me. That's my own opinion. I think a lot of people could agree, though, that, just setting aside the fact that, we want all the shit to slap anyway, just for our own entertainment. I think at this point, it's a necessity. I think people need to be able to shut out the outside world for a little while. Pick up a book and read for an hour or two. put on a movie for a couple hours, go hardcore gaming. And I'm not talking about just video games either, although that's your shiz, Scotty. But, there's tabletop gaming, Warhammer 40K, which Henry Cavill's into and is going to be working with Prime evidently for 40K. I'm not sure if it's going to be a show or a movie or both yet, but yeah, so there's tabletop gaming, video games, athletic games. But all of those are a pretty damn good escape too. But for purely sit down and watch visual content, we need that shit bad. And we need it to blow our minds. Or at the very least, be good enough to fully engage us. Make us want to immerse ourselves in it. Really got to figure out my hand positions for this thing. I keep bashing the fucking mic stand here. But that's what I think, though. That's why I want all the stuff to slap. Not just because, I want my entertainment to slap. But because at this point, and I think a lot of other people need to have a really good escape from what's going on. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Oh shit, I bored a couple people out of here. I'm sorry. This has been on my mind. This kind of thing's been on my mind for a minute. So I know I dropped a video on it a couple days ago, but I still feel pretty damn strongly about. Oop, got a couple back. Yay! Shit, he's still talking about this crap. But I feel very strongly on the subject, so I'm talking about it again. Besides, it's my fucking channel. It's our channel. Anyone that thinks I'm good enough at this stuff to engage with, I am super grateful for. So I want it to be our channel. Really. Just with a couple minor rules set by me, which basically boils down to, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Don't be hating on people. Don't be using hateful language. I'm not saying you can't swear. Obviously I do. I'm just saying no hateful language. But yeah, I want this. I want, I'm part of some other fun communities. I want my community to be fun as well. That's all. Row, Raggy. Oh, nope, there we go. Cool. So what do y'all think? I think I'm going to start repeating myself way too much if I keep blathering about that shit. So as long as we don't have another debacle like The Last Jedi, I think things start to look promising. I remember being so like The Last Jedi, but it ended up being a disappointment. That is a popular opinion, and then there are others, Scotty, who like The Last Jedi. I will not. I will just agree to disagree. I'll put it that way. I'm not gonna. I won't. I refuse to be. Well, at least in public, I refuse to be someone who bags on people who love the sequels. Because, again, I'm trying to build a fun community, and if I start dropping hammers on people for liking stuff that I don't necessarily enjoy that much, then how am I any better than the people I just got done talking about? I'm not. So, I mean, that's not how I want to be. I don't want to be. I just want to call it like I see it. I want to give credit. I have some friends who otherwise aren't Star Wars fans, but yeah, see. Although I'm noticing that is a big commonality for not all the people that like The Last Jedi / Rise of Skywalker, but I have noticed that a fair portion of people who like the sequels really didn't know shit about Star Wars going in. I mean, don't forget, there's also timing too. Like for some people, younger people, this was their first Star Wars, at least in a theater, if not period. So I mean that's the same deal as for people that are right now probably in their late 20s to early 30s for whom the prequels were their first exposure to Star Wars. And then there's the rest of us old fucks like myself. Well, I'm not old enough to have seen them in the theater. What was I? Star Wars came out 77, so I was like two-ish when A New Hope came out, and like what, five when Empire came out, and then like 7 or 8 when Jedi came out. And we weren't a big movie theater family growing up anyway, so um, I mean I got to see them through other avenues, but and of course I fell in love with it because how can you not like laser swords and the Force and telekinesis and shit flying around and all that kind of and telepathy communication, mind to mind communication through the Force. I mean, I'm a big swords and sorcery guy anyway, so I love high fantasy. You give me some people in armor with swords, give me some wizards, give me some dragons. I'm a happy motherfucking camper. Which is why I'm so stoked about the Ahsoka leaks that have been coming out, because that new Beyond looks dope. Or I should say sounds dope, because no one's seen it yet. Scotty is a prequel fan above all else. I watched baby boy Anakin get all sorts of effed up by the Jedi. If I were Luke, I would have effed off even further away than he. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. And like, I wasn't like big into the online community back in the day, so I've only really heard about all the prequel hate. Me personally, as someone who actually saw them in the theaters, um, I will say the only thing that annoys me significantly about the prequels, and sorry, fucking Jar Jar. The first time in the theater, as soon as he started talking, I was like, "Oh, George, why?" I know your ultimate goal has always been to gear Star Wars more towards a younger audience, but you were doing just fine without the goofy talking critters being a main focus of your films. But that's just me. Like I said, everyone's mileage varies. Um, yeah, I agree, Scotty. They could have picked literally any other accent and it would have been 1,000% better. Yeah. Misa Jaja Binks. Misa want to dig my eardrums out. Um, sorry. Although I will say, while the character was annoying as fuck, the hate that the actor got was just fucking insane. Like, I don't know if anyone has heard this. You probably do, because like I said, you guys have been in the online community longer than I have, at least most of you. The guy that played Jar Jar got so much hate. He literally, I can't remember if it was just thinking about or attempted suicide. One of the two. It was at least a strong consideration. I know that for sure. Yeah, Darth Jar Jar. Yes, I, there are literally people that are still convinced that he actually was a Sith Lord that even Palps didn't know about. I mean, God help us. But yeah, it's just a Star Wars fan issue. You don't really see that with DC or even Marvel. Um, I would say there's. Oh, what you got, Maximus? When I watched episode 1 in the theater the first time, everybody sighed when Jar Jar said, "Excuse me." It's cringe as fuck, but Ahmad Best. Thank you. Thank you, that's his name. But Ahmad Best didn't deserve. No, he didn't. No actor deserves hate for playing the role they're given and attempting to do their best with it. Like, seriously, if you're going to hate on anyone for your movie quality, start with the writing staff. Those are the people you need to be like thumping online. Because the actors are just doing their damn jobs. It's like, here's your script. Here's what I need you to do. Action. I mean, that's it. That's what they're stuck with that. Ahmed Best was stuck with that. And I would, again, I'm a guy who likes to give credit where credit is due. Even though I didn't like the character, I will give Ahmed Best credit for acting his ass off doing it. For sure. Just like back in the day, Hayden Christensen got a lot of hate for being a whiny bitch as Anakin in Attack of the Clones. Guess what, folks? Remember A New Hope? His son started off whiny little bitch too. I was going to go into Tashi Station to get some power converters. Yeah, Luke was a whiny little bastard too, so. Okay, technically he wasn't a bastard. Anakin and Padme were married. But he was a whiny little ass too at the very beginning. And then we got to watch him mature throughout the OT. So once you can get that in your head and get a little perspective on it, then you can understand why Hayden played Anakin the way he did. And on top of that, he played Anakin the way he did because George said, hey, this is how I want you to play Anakin. So, those are a lot of the complaints about that I can recall seeing and hearing after the fact. Because like I said, I was not in the online community back then. Every hero in Star Wars starts off as a whiny bitch. Han Solo didn't start off as a whiny bitch. In the original, he cold-blooded swatted Greedo in the Mos Eisley Cantina. No bitch to Han Solo. And really, Poe wasn't a bitch either. The pilots don't seem to be whiny bitches, like the ones that were already pilots going in, like professional pilots, active pilots, not targeting womp rats in their T-14 back home. The pilots are badasses. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of the heroes in Star Wars start off as whiny little bitches. But yeah, when it comes down to it, though, these IPs all need to get their poop in a group. Like toot fucking sweet. I would say Marvel's best position, personally. I don't know about DC and Star Wars. A lot of people didn't like Ahsoka originally. Yep, as well, but her character development has been well crafted. Yeah, that's true. When the Clone Wars came out, a lot of people were like, who the fuck is this girl? Now, again, I came in after the fact on that, to be perfectly honest. So I didn't have as big a problem with it as a lot of people, but that is another good example. I mean, I almost didn't watch Rebels once I got done with the Clone Wars because I saw that being sort of titled as a kid show. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this puppy a shot. And then it got fucking awesome. And I love me some Rebels now. Which is also another reason that I'm hyped for Ahsoka because we're finally tying back into Rebels characters. Give me Thrawn. I am so ready for Thrawn. Who else is ready for Thrawn? I know a lot of people are pissed because they're not treating him the way he was treated in the EU. Speaking of which, I need to read the Heir to the Empire trilogy so bad. Like my main novel exposure to Thrawn was in the book, what was it? Outbound Journey, I think it was called. That happened in the Clone Wars, where a big old colonization thing was taking off, and that was also the first place I was exposed to Jorah Sabaoth as well. who was a massive fucking prick in that one, and probably the outside of Ki-Adi-Mundi, outside of Ki-Adi-Mundi, probably the biggest prick in the Jedi Order. At least that's the way he was written in Outbound Journey or Outward. Yeah, Outbound Journey. And of course, they run into Thrawn in the Chiss, and Thrawn fucks him up. And I thought he died, but I want to give it to understand in Heir to the Empire, he ended up working for Thrawn. So, like I said, I got to read the Heir to the Empire and figure out how the hell that happened. Because I thought he died when Thrawn blew that Outbound Journey out of the literal sky. But yeah, Thrawn comes live action Ezra, yes. Yeah, and that kid that they still haven't completely confirmed that they casted, but that they casted. He so looks the part. Oh, fuck yeah. Scotty, Chewbacca. Yeah. How can I bring up Han Solo and not also bring up Chewbacca? Babe, smack me for that one later, please. That was just a big, dumb oversight. I'm ashamed. I'm very ashamed. How can we forget about the probably one of the best characters ever in Star Wars? And one of the few to be featured in at least part of all three trilogies. Someone help me out. Did we see him before Revenge of the Sith? Or no? I don't think so. I think Revenge of the Sith, timeline-wise, is for his first appearance. Him and Tarful. And you want to talk about I mean, Chewie isn't imposing enough Wookiee, but how about Tarful? Good Lord. I feel like that dude could just walk around popping people's heads off like dandelions. Just pardon me for a second. I gotta see who's doing this tune. It sounds familiar. Okay, now who I thought it was, but it's still badass. Max. Yeah, I meant young main characters like Luke, Ezra. Yeah, Ezra was a little whiny too, wasn't he? To begin with. Well, he matured. I'll tell you what, though. I want Maul in live action, preferably played by Ray Park or Sam Witwer. I don't care, but I want Maul in live action. Y'all teased that shit at the end of Solo with Emilia Clarke's character. I can't remember her name, but I know she's been continued on in comics as taking on the Emperor. Psycho. Grogu. Well, whining is all he can do. He doesn't speak yet. He just. Did you fucking? Oh, you fucking crashed on me, piece of shit. How dare you? Sorry, I fixed the tunes. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Uh, Maximus. They all turned out epic heroes. Exactly, though, because they all went through the hero's journey, which is, you start off in your normal life, generally get drawn in to some stuff, and then if you're following the actual hero's journey, then you mature over time, and we get to see the maturation of the character and their evolution into a badass in whatever form of badassery they are taking. So, yeah, it's the hero's journey. And that was, I will get back to that. I need you all to bear with me for like 90 or so seconds. I have to hit the head. The energy drink is calling to a dude. I'll be right back. Enjoy the music. Fall. Sorry about all the wiggling. I hope no one's got vertigo or anything. Thankfully, I have a bathroom in the basement, so I don't even have to go very far. Just a quick little hop, skip, and a jump. Oops. There we go. That's better. There we go. That's a little, not too much. Sorry, folks. I told you this is still my this is my stage 1 rig. We will be beginning work on stage 2 soon. But yeah, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, the hero's journey. For those of us who were less enthusiastic about the sequels, I should say, I think, at least for me, one of the big things is the hero's journey was a bit compromised when it came to Rey. And again, that comes down to the writing. So that comes down to Mr. Abrams and in The Last Jedi, Mr. Johnson. But yeah, her hero's journey was compromised. I'm not going to go as far as to use the pejorative term Mary Sue. I don't think she was. It wasn't quite that bad, but she was definitely OP for someone with absolutely no training whatsoever. Although I will say this, I did go see that. I went and saw all 3 in the theater, and I do recall the first time I saw The Force Awakens. When she and Ren were fighting there at the end on the Starkiller. The planet, whatever the hell the name of that damn base was. I think it was Starkiller Base, which is kind of a bummer because I know everyone wants the Galen Merrick. But that dude is too insanely powerful. I don't think we'll ever get him live action. Hey, here's my son-in-law. Oh, I got earphones in. What's up? Okay, yeah, cool. Bring him on down. Y'all want to see my grandson? Oh no, I haven't been smoking hardly at all. Yeah. So y'all get to meet my grandson now. He's such a cute little guy. But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go as far as calling her Mary Sue, but she was definitely too skilled for someone with no training, for sure. Ray. But that wasn't here. Oh, there he is. Hi, Bubby. Hold on. Look, buddy, you're on the internet. You're on the internet. This is my grandson, Alistair. Say hi. Hi. Yeah, Josh ain't the only one with a cute baby on live stream. There you go. Yeah, it's a big smile. You like hanging with you? Oh, yeah, your mom's making cute faces at you. You gonna make cute faces back at her? He'll go boy. He's 4 months, right? Yeah, 4 months old. Born in September. Yeah. Say hi, Alistair. Say hi. Hi, people that like Jaji. Even though there's only a few of you, that's all there ever is anyway. Hey, hi, buddy. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. There you go. There you go. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I love you guys. Love you guys. Be safe. Thanks. One moment, please. But yeah, you know what? I was done talking about Ray being OP. What the hell was I talking about next? I almost had it and then I forgot it. Someone help me out there. Oh yeah, when she was fighting Kylo Ren at the end there. Um, you know how Abrams brought Palpatine back at the end and made Ray his granddaughter? I don't know if y'all remember, but her fighting style, when I was watching the theater, first thing I know is like, she is thrusting like she's a Palpatine. So I'm wondering, personally, I think J.J. Abrams had that shit in his brain from jump. Especially when they were fighting on that cliff before it started breaking apart. I don't know if y'all noticed that shit, but I noticed that. I'm like, why is she fighting like Palpatine was in Revenge of the Sith in the office scene with the, the coming from underneath thrust and shit? She did that 2 or 3 times in that fight, and I was like, oh no. And of course, I was at that point. I was before I realized how OP they made her. I was giving her. I was like, ooh, she's a Palpatine, then she has a right to be this powerful, maybe, probably. So, but yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed from that movie, honestly. So, like I said, I wonder if Abrams had that in his brain for the whole process. And then, of course, he left. We got Ryan Johnson for a movie, and I think the biggest for me mistake, the writing mistake in that movie was giving it basically almost a trilogy ending in the middle. Like he sacrificed Luke too soon. Basically, is what I'm saying. Luke needed to be around for Rise of Skywalker, at least for part of it, and then he could have done the heroic sacrifice in the finale. That's just me, though. So, but that's enough of that crap. Again, the main point being, we need content that will appeal to the broadest base possible. Newbies, all the way up to sweaties, and everyone in between, which is me. Because I am neither noob nor sweaty. Sorry. Sometimes I just got to get into the music. But yeah, I just want our stuff to be good. That's all. Yeah, that's better. I just want my stuff to be good. And like I said, that applies to more than just Star Wars. Although Star Wars is my favorite IP out of all of them. Um, period. I love it more than Marvel. I love it more than DC. I love it more than Star Trek. I love it more than Stargate. Although Stargate is up there. I don't know if there's any other Stargate fans in the chat right now. Um, spam one if you are. Pretty please. I love me some Stargate too. As a matter of fact, God of War Ragnarok being all the rage in the gaming right now, the guy that voices Kratos, Christopher Judge, is a main character in Stargate SG-1. And he's fucking badass. Like, if you go back and watch some episodes of SG-1, you will understand why many, many people are calling for him to play live action Kratos. He's a fucking monster, yo. Chris Judge is a beast. And he's a damn fine actor. And of course, the Stargate franchise, specifically in the show Stargate Atlantis, gave us the one and only Jason Momoa in the character of Ronan Dax. Ronan Dex. Dex. So, without Stargate, we may not have Momoa. Think on that one for a moment. So, if you haven't given Stargate any love, you should give her a try. Besides, if you like MacGyver, you'll love Stargate SG-1 because Richard Dean Anderson is the big star in that puppy, playing Colonel Jack O'Neill. I can go on for a while on some Stargate. And I've also dropped a couple videos, and there will be more talking about it. Just so you know. By the way, I don't know if anyone besides up there at the top of the chat, Matt, noticed my new dope-looking thumbnail. My guy, Justin at Justified MF, made that for me. I got to figure out either A, how to do my program better, or B, get a new one. Because my thumbnail game is still pretty mid, if not slightly bad. Honestly. Of course, I don't do shorts, so I'm pretty fucked with the algo anyway, but I don't care. I mean, obviously, you guys, a few of you are regulars on my stream, and thank you so much for that. I love that. Much platonic love to all of you for that. I appreciate it more than I could ever explain. There he is, Justin. I was just giving you props for that thumbnail, bro. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, no, but yeah, I appreciate all of you guys. But yeah, you've all probably noticed since you've been here a few times now that I have a problem shutting up. I have a problem with blathering. I get long-winded. I repeat myself. So obviously, I have difficulty doing shorts with a time limit of 60 fucking seconds. I mean, good God. No problem. Thanks, man. But yeah, I have a great appreciation for that favor. That was very awesome of you. So, how long you been in the chat? Did you just get here? Do I need to TLDR what was going on for you real quick? Because I have, like I was just saying, I have no problem running off at the mouth and doing so. And don't worry, everyone that's been here, I will make it as quick as I possibly can. Well, just to recap, James Gunn's supposed to announce stuff next week. Hopefully, he actually gives us details, unlike what he's given us so far. New Ahsoka leak. She's going to be riding a loaf wolf, so we're going to get some Twilight action. Ooh, I hope you had a nice nap. What else was there? Oh yeah, we're supposed to get a Mando trailer Monday night during the football, so that'll be dope. We talked about how fucking awesome the Quantumania trailer is, and also we talked a bit about Kang gaining the powers of the Beyonder and potentially a variant of Kang from way back wrote the Darkhold, possibly. Put it in book form off all the carvings in the cave in Wondergore Mountain. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. So we talked about that a bit and how freaking powerful Kang is going to be. And how that's going to lead into King Dynasty and Secret Wars, obviously. Get back into my show notes. So yeah, the Beyonder, writing the Dark Hole, blah blah blah. Yes, the fun part though. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But here's the fun one. Hold on to your butt, like literally, grab, or at least grab whatever you're sitting on and brace yourself. Rotten Tomatoes did an editorial on the top 5 superhero TV shows of 2022. You ready? This is for anyone else that I'm not sure if anyone else missed it. But, and again, I'm going to go from 5 to 1 like I did earlier. All right. Number 5, Moon Knight. I'm cool with that. That was a decent show. Ending was weak, but it was a decent show. All right. Number 4, Peacemaker. I haven't actually watched it. My only exposure to Peacemaker was in The Suicide Squad. And like I said earlier, I can't unsee John Cena and Tidy Whitey's more's the dismay. But they put Peacemaker at 4th. The Boys at 3. For me personally, that's way low because The Boys was dope. But here's where it gets fun. And yes, there will be more Little John coming. The number 2 show, according to this Rotten Tomatoes editorial, was She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Yes. Whoever wrote this editorial said She-Hulk was the second best superhero TV show of 2022. They smoke better shit than I do. And the number 1 was Ms. Marvel. Now, like I said earlier, I don't think that show is definitely better than She-Hulk, so it should be exactly, bruh. Now, it was a better show than She-Hulk for sure, but worthy of being the best superhero show of 2022? Nah. It wasn't that good. It wasn't bad, but it definitely was not great. But yeah, they have Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk ahead of The Boys, and ahead of Peacemaker, and ahead of Moon Knight. Don't throw anything, though. You've got expensive stuff in your room. Yeah. The silliness. Yeah. Oh, there's my son-in-law, Alex. Yeah, I've seen some clips, and it does look pretty funny. I actually need to get on the Amazon Prime and watch that puppy. Yeah, that is super weird, isn't it? I didn't actually. I read an article on the Direct about it. I didn't actually go to Rotten Tomatoes to see who wrote that shit. And I don't think I'm gonna, because then I'll be tempted to pull a Josh and just go hard on him on Twitter. But yeah, that's pretty wild. Pretty fucking wild. And from thence, I went into my feelings about why everything that comes out from this point forward needs to slap. Because given circumstances outside our own personal domiciles, at least for me, it's way too fucked up, and I need my escapism to be good. And let's face it, all our favorite IPs have been mid as fuck for like anywhere from 2 to 7 years, for the most part. So, I made a video about this a couple days ago, but I feel very, very strongly about it. I mean, and obviously, we all know all that silliness is reflected in the fandoms too. So, which of course is a whole joy being in the middle in and of itself, just being someone that wants to give credit when someone does something good and poop on them when they do something bad, as what makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, given all the weirdness, which obviously is not going to stop anytime soon, yeah, I need my escapism to be the bomb. because I need to forget, and I think a lot of people would agree that if your stuff, if what you're doing is not distracting enough to where you're not really thinking about anything else but that's a problem. It's a big problem, at least for me. Would I accept a Star Wars reboot? Only if George himself came up and like, all right, I'm going to do this. Nobody else. And even then, I'd be like, George, what the fuck are you thinking? Honestly. But yeah, if Disney tries to reboot Star, oh hell no. That might bring out my inner Melvin, honestly. And I don't ever want to go that far. I don't want to go to the dark side. Don't manipulate me into going to the dark side, Lucasfilm. Don't be Palpatine. Don't send me off the deep edge. Yeah, no reboot. Oh yeah, how do we all feel about the Lindelof movie that seems to be the one that we're going to be getting in a couple years? That is supposedly going to be sequel character based and occur post Rise. We've probably talked about this before, but since we're on the subject, we can talk about it again. How do we all feel about that one? Do we think it's a mistake to continue with sequel stuff? Or at least existing sequel characters? If they want to go into the future, should they go farther? Should they go into the way past? Like, personally, I would love if they went into the way past, like Darth Bane era. That shit would be fire. I love me some Darth Bane. Like, it just in some quick, just a sentence or two or three. If you suddenly woke up tomorrow and you were running Lucasfilm, what is the first thing you would do? I know what I would do. What would you do? I'll let you think about it for a second while I take care of a little personal biz. Oh yeah, definitely better slap. I mean, if they can find a way to, I would be okay with it if the new characters they introduce and are written really well, and if they made improvements with the writing of these sequel characters they're going to bring in. I mean, for me, it basically boils down to whatever you're going to do, just fucking do it right. You know, improve what needs to be improved, cut out what needs to be cut out, and just give me a damn good story. That's all I ask. Is it too much? Is that too much to ask for? Is good writing really too much to ask for? What the hell is this shit? Oh, that's better. He's just getting down. Like, for example, if I woke up tomorrow and, like, my phone rang and Iger's like, bruh, somehow I found your channel and I need you. Come to Cali and run Lucasfilm. After I changed my undies, I would then clean house. Dave and John would be co-heads of all creative. And I would only hire writers that actually knew something about Star Wars or, liked it, even if they don't know that much about it, at least liked it and know the basic themes. Not writers that have publicly said that they are not Star Wars fans and then wrote a whole show. Tony Gilroy. Yeah, it'd be like all new writing staff, probably a whole new directing staff, and Dave and John would be in charge of complete creative, and then I'd get me a nice EVP to handle the business shit, and then I'd just sit back, relax, and watch everything turn around. That's what I would do. Oh, probably the most important thing that beyond George's stories that Lucasfilm has been fucking up, and that is PR. Lucasfilm PR sucks sweaty taint. There would be no more attacking of the fans. There would be no more baiting of the fans. There would be no more broad brush stroking of the fans. I would have people scouring the internet finding legit criticisms, based on actual movie things like writing and cinematography and production and acting and that kind of fucking stuff. Alex says, movies are so long nowadays, there's no reason to cut things like that out. That's important to the development of character. Yeah, for sure. Oh, whoops. I agree with the changing the small things and leaving your idea the same. I think it's a situation like Star Wars where they have the deleted scene of Anakin and Guido fighting. Oh, Greedo. Yeah, movies so long nowadays. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. The movies tend to be longer nowadays, but you got to perform a balancing act with that when you consider that thanks to certain trends on the internet, there are a large amount of people who have the attention span of a moth. So you kind of got to balance that out a little bit. But yeah, like a good solid 2.5 hour movie, it should be right in the realm of, should be about the average. Because shit, I remember back when I was a kid, man. If a movie crossed an hour and a half, I was like, everyone's like, holy crap, this is so long. A 2 hour movie was like, what? And then all of a sudden, 2 hours became the average. And then Peter Jackson came out with Lord of the Rings, and then all of a sudden, a 3 hour movie's okie dokie. So yeah, movies. The length of movies has gotten longer over the years, although it's kind of been coming down a little bit too. Coming back down to closer to 2 hours rather than like 2.5. Although, like I said, if it went back up to 2.5, I wouldn't be depressed about it. Give us more character building or storyline building or world building. That's the only thing you really need to add minutes for. I don't necessarily need a longer action scene, although I wouldn't argue. But yeah, just, plot or character development should not be the first things to be edited. For sure. Sorry, I had to have a Beavis and Butthead moment there. My apologies. Um, yeah, so yeah, there's just there's so many unknown things coming along that we all have high hopes for. With all our IPs. Well, actually, I don't know how high hopes I have for DC. I need Guns got to prove a lot right now. Um, so does Lucasfilm, but the projects that are coming out this year are ones that are, in the case of Mando and Bad Batch, are already tried and true, and in the case of Ahsoka, sounds so freaking ridiculously dope that I'm super hyped for that one. Anything after those three, yeah, we'll see. The Acolyte, I'm looking forward to. Skeleton Crew is intriguing. Yeah, you have none for DC. I know. Yeah, that's a whole lot of show me action on that when it comes to DC. You got to show me, son. Um, but yeah, at least for the immediate future, Star Wars is looking not bad. Marvel is looking damn hype. I think Quantumania is going to be beginning of a change, although some of the stuff coming out this year probably is still going to have a little bit of Phase 4 trailing on it. So uh, I think Marvel might be up and down this year, but next year is going to fucking slap when it comes to the MCU. Because a lot of the Marvel rumors that we've been getting lately all apply to shit coming out next year for the most part. New World Order and Thunderbolts. Oh, speaking of which, there is a rumor out there that New World Order, no, either New World Order, yeah, I think New World Order might get a name change. Is it New World Order that might get a name change? No, I lie. Armor Wars might get a name change, is what I'm hearing, what I've heard. Armor Wars might not be called Armor Wars anymore. I don't know what that means. Hopefully, something good. Hopefully, something with decent connective tissue to um, the multiverse, some multiversal action. But yeah, that's definitely a we'll see thing. But of course, that's also a 2024 project, I believe, too. So yeah, Armor War is getting name change. But yeah, all the things we're hearing a lot of the hype stuff about is next year stuff. So um, obviously, Quantumania looks dope. Yeah, but yeah, we'll have to see for the remainder of this year. Um, I'm not like overly worried, but I think we should expect a little bit of this when it comes to the quality of stuff. All right, Aussie, have a good. Well, is it daytime where you are at right now? Have a good day. Is that how that works? Is it like morning over there now or something? Is it Sunday? But have a good rest of your awake experience. I guess is the best way to put it. um, but yeah, I would say Marvel. I have the highest hope for overall going forward beyond even 2024. Star Wars, I have hope for at least most of this year. DC is, well, hopefully we get a little bit of news next week. Afternoon time here. It's 20 minutes to 2 on Sunday. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man. Person. I keep getting that wrong. So I hope you have a really good Sunday, Aussie. And, we'll see you in some Discords, I imagine. Um, yeah, Guns just has to do a good job. He has to be very, very smart. Is there anything else that I had? Hmm, no, That's about all I got for now, unless we can somehow random me into a side something that will pop into my head that I can blather on for a few. That's about all I got for tonight. You guys got anything that you want to talk about related to what we've already talked about, or something brand new? Anything on your mind? Best Marvel movie? You mean so far to this point? Um, hmm. The Winter Soldier for me. Honestly, I think is the best MCU movie. Like all of the Captain America movies slap. That's probably the best trilogy in all of it. I mean, obviously, Endgame and Infinity War were fucking epic. Um, I mean, they got us all. They got us with suspense. They got us with excitement, badass action, hit us in the feels there at the end. Um, so those are obviously way up there. Um, I love Multiverse of Madness. I know a lot of people. Um, well, I can't say a lot of people, but I understand those that were a little weirded out by it because Sam Raimi is Sam Raimi. I happen to love Sam Raimi. I loved him from way back in the '90s when he was still doing horror. The working with Bruce Campbell on the Evil Dead series. So, like his goofy horror shit, I've been a fan of for going on 30 years now. So yeah, I fucking love Multiverse of Madness because there was so much Raimi in it. Not too much for me, but it was awesome for me. Brooke loved Captain America: Civil War, but Winter Soldier is great as well. Yeah, Civil War was also badass. Who would win in a fight, Winter Soldier or Captain America? You mean if Captain America didn't have plot armor, he'd still win. All he'd have to do is disable the super arm that Winter Soldier has, and it's over. So, um, yeah, Captain America wins that one. Brooke, while topping Endgame is difficult, yeah, I hope the new Avengers movies centered around Kang can top that. Yes, yes, I do appreciate. If they can't top it, I hope they can at least hang with it, or be as long as they slap. Period. I think that'll be good enough. I don't know that topping Endgame needs to be the goal. Um, I just think making. I think you can make something as impactful as Endgame without necessarily topping it. You know what I mean? Um, so there's news about Doctor Strange 3. It's going to be streamlined before. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. There's going to be. That's not the only one that's getting streamlined. There's going to be a show that's getting streamlined. Armor Wars is going to probably get a name change. It's entirely possible that Secret Wars can get pushed back to um, late 26 or even early 27 now because of all the stuff that Feige's trying to get in for connective tissue and whatnot. So, um, I mean, if as long as these delays are being done with the idea of quality over quantity and not rushing things just to get stuff out there for us to look at and spend money on, I've got no problem with it personally. Um, delay away. I mean, is it annoying a little bit? Yeah, but as long as the end result um, is slapping ass movies, then I'm totally okay with it. You think they will bring the Beyonder in this year? Ah, Well, the rumor is that if it's not the King the Conqueror that we're going to see in Quantumania, a variant of Kang is going to end up with the powers of the Beyonder, if not actually being called King the Beyonder. That part isn't sure, but it is being strongly rumored that he's going to end up with the powers of the Beyonder. So I will say yes, he's going to show up. Will he be the Beyonder that appears in the comics, no matter whether it's in the original run or the Hickman run? But yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be some. It's not going to be his own character that comes from a cosmic cube or anything. It's somehow a variant of Kang is supposed to acquire the powers of the Beyonder. So kinda, but yes, but no, but yes. Yeah, supposedly Agatha Coven of Chaos is getting pushed, um, but it's still supposed to come out before Secret Wars at least. What else is supposed to come out before even King Dynasty? Yeah, the King Dynasty. Fantastic Four is supposed to come out before King Dynasty still. Um, there's another TV show that's supposed to be a tie-in. Oh yeah, Wong or Strange Academy, starring Wong and America Chavez. Um, that's supposed to be a thing. That's supposed to come out, I think, before King Dynasty, but it's also supposed to have massive tie-ins to the multiverse saga, which I mean, obviously makes sense because it's got America Chavez in it, and obviously she travels through the multiverse all on her own. And let us not forget that unlike everyone else in the multiverse, there is only one of her. She has no variants. So, and besides, who the fuck doesn't love Wong? I'm 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 always down for a Wong show. I've thought he's needed his own show for quite some time. So yeah, Wongers. I'm ready for some Wong. Pause. Okay, but yeah, so that's supposed to be coming out sometime before King Dynasty. Um, Supposedly, they just cast someone that could potentially be playing Hulkling in Coven of Chaos because supposedly they're going to be doing so. What's the name of that fucking storyline? Damn it, I can't remember the name of the storyline. But yeah, supposedly Coven of Chaos And we're back because my computer randomly fucking reset on me. So I don't know what the hell that was. Someone go ahead and type something into the chat so I know we're all back and you can see me and hear me and I'm moving. That was lame as shit. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Bentley. So do I think in this phase there will be a multiverse clash? Uh, I think there will be some kind of multiverse clash. I don't know if it'll be like a massive one, but Deadpool 3, there's going to be some multiverse action. So I think we will see some kind of, yes, battle having to do with the multiverse. Yeah. So I don't think it'll be anything on the order of what's coming in phase 6 with the Avengers movies or even. Actually, no. From some of the rumors I've heard, it's supposed to be a pretty damn big film and pretty well connected to the multiversal saga. So, yeah, I think we could have. I wouldn't call it a clash, but I definitely think we could have a multiverse skirmish. A smaller battle, more isolated. Yeah, I know. My computer randomly reset. So, but we're back. Uh, yeah, yeah. So I think we'll have a multiversal skirmish. That's what I think. So, yeah. All right. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it an evening, y'all. Um, I think quite a few of you got discouraged by when my computer decided to fuck me right in the middle of this. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend. Again, so much appreciation for everyone that showed up tonight and that is subscribed. Invite some friends though, so we can have even the more the merrier. Invite friends, more subscribers, more visitors to the stream, all that kind of fun stuff. And also, don't forget to turn on all the notifications on when you subscribe or if you go back into the channel. Make sure that bell is fully lit up. That way, you know what I'm doing right when I do it, and you can keep up, and that'll be cool. And don't forget to comment and like on the videos too. I need engagement, otherwise the algo hates my ass. Yeah. Oh, I actually don't get it. Witcher seems to be a good show. Oh, yeah. Well, the first 3 seasons I understand are probably going to be good, but Henry Cavill is gone now, and they hired Liam Hemsworth for the fourth, and they just started filming that. So, yeah, I don't get a 3-day weekend because I'm not a bank or federal employee. I will be working Monday just like normal because I work in the tire business. I work for a tire wholesaler. We sell to tire dealerships and car dealerships so they can put tires on their service department. Mom and pop tire shops. Tires. But that's what I deal in. So we don't get we just get the main holidays off: Memorial Day, Labor Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Day, July 4th. But yeah, we don't get all the cool little other federal holidays like MLK and that kind of President's Day and that kind of stuff that bankers and government employees get off. That's all right. Looking forward to, yes, definitely. Where you will probably hear slightly better, more in-depth information. But yeah, so everyone have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for being a part of the basement. I appreciate it more than I can ever say. And just remember, there's always a good time to be had when you are chilling in the basement.